if that's what it is, based on 300 users, it's gonna come out to about 353.
The whole thing at the end was between $280 a year and $300 a year is what the last estimate was
Yeah.
for the total loan at the end. That's what it would be.
Yeah, so, I mean, I could be off anyway. It's about $300, which is what we planned on
Yeah,
doing.
280 to 300 bucks.
It is what it is. We knew this going all the way
We
through.
knew it from the start.
Actually, we thought it was gonna be a lot more.
A
Yeah, it was
unit.
supposed to be $580 or $90
Per unit.
That's for you. For
A unit.
per EDU if you do EDUs. We haven't even got that far. If you do it by ad valorem, depending on how much your house is worth, you're gonna pay more. If it's not worth as much, you're gonna pay a lot less. But if we do it by EDU, then everybody pays the same.
by unit.
The break-even point is about $113,000 home. Then it doesn't matter whether you do it by ad valorem or you do it by EDU, because those two figures are the same. And then it goes up or down depending on what way you do it afterward.
Okay.
If that makes sense to everyone.
Well, we've known this is gonna be the price. Actually, we thought it was gonna be a lot more. And this is where it's at.
So at
So
what
either-
point do you guys think that we're going to decide on the EDU rate versus the ad valorem? Is that something
You can
in the
do
next few months?
You could, or you could do it at the end. You can figure out how much you're gonna need, and then you could decide what way you wanna do it. I'm just telling you, EDUs are the way they like to see it done now. But there's nobody that can tell a sitting board whether they do it by ad valorem or by EDU. But I will tell you this, if you're living in a $500,000 house and up, instead of $300, you're gonna look at probably closer to $800 if you do it by ad valorem.
I would
And
have to,
then a guy that's living in a $65,000 home is gonna pay $170, $180. So,
my thoughts are, so, because we're gonna move forward. I'm assuming everybody's gonna move. So if we do EDUs right now, until this project is done, and then figure out exactly what we got into it, then they can go ad valorem if you want to change it at that point. I think at this point, you should do EDU just because we know we got $106,000 or whatever we gotta pay off. So it's like, okay, you got 300 users and this is what we're gonna,
right, but the 106,000 could even have the CDBG grant, because it's your first band. You see what I'm saying?
so not change anybody's for
Be-
the first year?
You might not, the grant payment, I think CDBG has to be used on the construction period, part of the engineering. USDARD, you can use it on anything. You can use it on, your soil sampling that they're doing, the flyover, the surveying. CDBG, I think, has to be used only on the construction part of it. But the only thing we got left to do for the CDBG and I asked that to Ron today, my understanding is that Curtin is gonna be done with their archaeological study by June. So as soon as that archaeological study is done, then that's when we'll have satisfied all the requirements that I know of right now, all the requirements for CDBG. Then that 1.25 is gonna be available. You see what I mean? So you might not even need a band if we can, the first year, do that off the.
So
That's what I'm saying, there's too many variables. I was on the phone with Noah from Munistat for 2 days going over this stuff to give you the dissertation the best I can right now. There's variables on it. And like you said, it all depends on when you're your financing comes in. He goes, because there's those grants, he goes, that's what we hope, is that before the band is due, you got your grant money to you at the town, and then you can utilize that to pay the band.
You understand that, Don? So we may not have to change anything this year
No.
at all.
But they still wanna see, that's one of the things that they wanna see, is that you are putting it in a budget, a mock-up budget. They wanna see a mock-up budget for 2024, that's another one I gotta work on. With, say, $160,000 band payment in there. It don't mean nothing, because we don't know what it's going to be. And we don't, all it's showing is that we're putting a line item in to pay that, whatever that is. Not how we're paying it, or what we're paying it out of, because we could pay it out of grant money, you know what I mean? But they wanna see
You just
that,
wanna see that number.
that you have a line item in there to pay the band.
So I
The
mean,
band.
we can kick this around for a while, but, so basically what you're
I
saying
live it
is,
every day.
yeah, you're gonna put a line item in there, but we're not actually gonna put it in our tax.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be, like Lucas said, he goes, it should be taken right out of the 29 things that you gotta do, cause he goes, it don't mean nothing. They just wanna see that you understand that you have to put a line item in to pay.
And eventually you're gonna have.
And eventually, one way or the other, you're gonna have to make the band payment.
So,
That makes sense.
do you need a motion?
Did I do it, huh?
You think, as a lawyer, this all jives and makes sense?
Yeah, I've been through this, 2 other projects in other towns. It's just a step.
Kevin's done a lot of work on it.
Yeah.
Are they EDUs or ad valorem?
Nothing at this
No, I'm
point.
asking Mike.
Oh,
He said he's got 2 different projects going on.
They're EDUs. I think it's fair, you know.
it's
It's
supposed,
EDU, you're,
the way the government looks at it in the
it
state.
doesn't matter
is
how valuable your house
You're
is.
getting the same
You're still
service.
using the same amount of water.
Yeah.
And you're using the same service.
Okay, just as a water clerk, and this might benefit you guys, is there any way they can be changed to EDU? They're ad valorem right now, which would make a lot more sense.
Oh, yeah, it would.
Yeah, it would take a resolution, and you guys,
And the bond
Do
would
that.
be different, but, well,
no, the bond would be the same.
no, I'm saying the bond payment would be different. They
No.
wouldn't be paying as much as,
Their
What they're
individual
paying right
payments would be different, but the
Diff-
bond payment will
Right,
remain the same
right.
unless we
Bond payment,
refinance it.
right.
That's why I wanted to do that a year ago. So anyways,
But anyway, you need a motion on this, right?
yeah, if I can figure out where the heck I am now on this thing. Hold on.
Yeah, you're not gonna have the nice little motion and second lines. Donna's just gonna have to keep track of that.
I gave her one of these.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got this one right here, right?
Yep, I added that to it, that way. But the only thing they care about, and we can't change this thing, is the yays or nays on this. That's all that they care about.
This one?
where do you see yays and nays? Oh, you got my
Under-
thing, okay, never
It's,
mind.
it's about the middle of
Okay,
the
he's
second
got
page,
this.
yeah.
Okay, motion?
Move. Second.
I don't say it, he does.
What's that? So, motion by Sherm. Second?
Go ahead.
I was gonna do that.
Yeah.
By Mike. All right, roll call.
Okay, how would they want me to do this, Mike?
You can
Voting yay, nay, yes, no?
You can still put yes and no.
Okay,
if you want,
sure.
but-
Yes.
Mr. Hamel?
I do the same thing up here.
like
I
that,
don't
don't you,
call by
Sherm?
last names.
Mr. Parati?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes. That's 3 years and 3 months of combination of work right there. Thank you.
Keep it going.
Okay. One more piece of card.
Okay, my resolution back.
Smokes. All right, 2353. Motion by, be it resolved that the Town of Schuyler Falls enter into an agreement with Layer 8 for IT service in the amount of $1,159 per month as a 3-year contract ending in the year 2025. Contract is attached, monthly amount is a fixed rate through contract years. So, can I get a motion? By Vern. Second?
Second.
By Mike. Any further discussion?
Yes. This contract, the amount is gonna be $41,760 on this contract
Over 3 years.
over a 3-year period.
Yep.
And I sort of have a question on the 3-year period.
Yep.
I'm not opposed to layer 8 at all, any way, shape, or form. However, what I'm asking is if we could have the contract up until the end of 2023. Then at that time, we can take a look at the satisfaction level of this firm. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because they have a non-disclosure agreement built into this. And it's like, I can't call various towns and say to them, hey, how are they? How are they doing? I can't do that because they can't disclose it. So, I mean, I'm saying we'll go, I'll vote to go with them until the end of 23. And then we would then more than likely continue on. So seeing that the board is changing, I'm just asking you guys to consider changing that contract around. It's $11.60 a month, and to consider giving them until the end of the year. And then hopefully, and I think everything probably would work out fine, and then we'll continue on with them. I just can't see this board now entering into a 3-year contract, $41,760. And I mean, did we check with New York State OGS, Kevin, at all, and see if someone, an IT firm, was on state contract?
No, you know the.
I know you don't have to.
I
know that. I know all
terms
that.
that we interviewed and
Right.
that we talked to. And you know I haven't checked with OGS.
With OGS might have someone
but
on state contract. They might.
I-
I'm not criticizing you on it. I'm
No,
just
I don't want
asking,
you
that's
to.
all.
So, no, I understand that. So, all I'm saying is that this, actually even according to our old IT service, this is a good rate, okay? It was within the same bounds as StarTech. Same, StarTech. The money actually on their end was about, I think, $16,000 a year for all inclusive, if I remember. It's about pretty comparable to what this is. The other thing that we have to accept the contract as they gave it to you. I can't change the contract. I cannot change their contract. So they gave us a contract for 3 years. I'm not gonna line out anything here. So we'd have to table it and we'll be without an IT provider again if we did that, to ask them that. So the other thing of this is that it's never going to get any cheaper, okay? These services, if you look them up, they're all about that same price for, as they explain, an all-you-can-eat buffet, okay? You can buy time banks, all right? They won't do it, But StoreTech, you can buy for $3,000 if I remember the contract, you can buy 30 hours. And then once that is done, and they said they'd use the 30 hours up just onboarding. Just onboarding, right? Then you can buy another $3,000 block, or you can buy a $5,000 block and have like 40 or 50 hours. But this, you're never going to pay any more than what the monthly charge is. So it's easier to budget, and that's why they said they do it this way, because you'll know what the budget is this year, next year, and into 25. Because there's no increases. There's no cost of living increases. No matter if their expenses go up, no matter if the inflation rate keeps going up. That's the only reason one of the reasons, not the only reason, but one of the reasons why I said locking it in for 3 years I agree with. Because I didn't like it at first either, but you know, like I said, we're looking at what the cost of the products go up each year. We're locking in at this rate, which is comparable with every other one that we've investigated, for 3 years at that price. That they can't be brought up. The second half of this is, it's not just paying for the provided service. So they're gonna update and upgrade a little over $4,000 worth of equipment down here that needs to be done. And I know you don't work down here, so you're not gonna know what's going on, but they're about ready to kill me with the computers down here, because they're having problems getting their emails even. So the problem is that the old connection, is that what that bank was called? Anyways, it's not, like they said it the other night in the meeting, it's Windows 10 or older, and it's not supported anymore, so I can't get the updates. So now it's affecting everything. We came in on Monday, the servers were down, both of them, completely down. So we couldn't even get on the internet, we couldn't get our emails, they couldn't do the billing, she couldn't do her, when she came in even on Tuesday, he was working on am I screwing that up, BAS part of the server?
Yeah, Monday was
Yeah.
down. He had to rebuild the server.
He had to rebuild that whole server, Carl, that night. So that's why I wanted to thank him for jumping in and helping us with the IT in the interim of doing it. I'm telling you as a supervisor, I can't kick the can down the road for another 30 days, I'll tell you that right now. So, you know, it's the equipment that they presented to us that they're gonna upgrade as part of that presentation. It's not just service, but you're paying for it over 3 years. If we did like you wanted to do and did it as the end of this year,
I'm inquiring, that's all I'm doing.
No, I'm just saying. If you did it like that, or wanted to do it that way, or we decided to do it that way, you would have $4,000 something upgrade of equipment to put in the budget this year, plus the remainder of the months for the rest of the year. So we're in, what, 7 months left, basically?
Yeah.
I think the other thing you have to worry about too is, they could also say going into 24, well, it's not 11:59 anymore, it's now 16:59.
Right.
And
that's
then
what I said.
we're kinda locked,
But
we're
the
in trouble.
thing
Just, and I'll
it's
just
easier
make
to-
one more
Easier to
point.
budget.
I'll just try one
I'm
more
just
point.
gonna finish my thought.
Okay,
you know,
go ahead.
It's easier to budget over the 3 years for that equipment than having to pay for all that new equipment in 1 year this year, because we didn't budget for it. We could do a transfer out of the general fund, but
Just my final point. The termination fee in the contract. For example, say we go with this 3-year thing. And I doubt this will happen, but just say if it did, 4 months down the road, there's an issue that pops up. Well, we're mandated to pay 50% of their fee for the next 3 years. Until the end of the
contract,
contract. That's
50%.
another concern. That's just things I want to bring up. That's all. That's all I have.
If I could just give my opinion on this, and I have to listen to her every night. When they don't, she couldn't do any of your billing, she couldn't do water, she couldn't do
Yeah, I
taxes,
understand all that.
nothing.
Yeah.
The fact is that this company, and
They
we've looked at
violate
them,
them.
there's a number of different towns that use them, number one. Number two is that along with the equipment, their technology gets updated every year. So every year, you know yourself, this phone is already out of date and I've only had it for a year. So as you go forward in the new technology in the next 3 years, they're gonna update everything at that same price. Any equipment problems that they have or any equipment that they need, they're gonna put it in there at that price. I agree with Kevin. I like the fact that it's one price that you know you're gonna pay every month. And it is high. I'm not gonna say it's not high, because
But they all are.
it was kind of surprisingly high. But I tell you what, I'm good with it.
I did talk to Denise to piggyback off of what you were saying. She goes, in 2025, at the end of that year, your contract price will actually go down because you're not having the equipment in the price that it is right now. So
Right,
before,
they're gonna
5,000.
keep gradually upgrading it.
So she goes, it will go down, not up, because you're buying all the equipment that you have to do to fix this place right now. As part of it, but it's spread out over
I
the
have
3
to see
years.
that. I don't know about that. I don't see pricing going down anywhere, but
No, I
I'm
don't know
in
what
favor of
their
totally.
service will
Right.
cost them, but she goes, you will not be paying $40-something $100 for equipment in there, so the contract price should go down. I'm just telling you what she told me. Whether
Well,
it's
I'm not
right or wrong. Because she goes, you're gonna deduct 45 or 4,800 bucks or whatever that equipment is right off the bat. Because she goes, you're gonna be up online and everything's going to be new.
As long as it's continually upgraded.
That's
and
what
at
they
the end
do.
of that contract, we don't have to invest again.
Right.
And that was the other thing, compared to the other two, is they are gonna fix what needs to be fixed. That's why they wanted to put the presentation on, to show you what they were gonna fix and tell you what they were gonna fix. Because she goes, we already figured in how much it's gonna cost us to make this place right and what we gotta spend, basically, or we gotta spend to make it right. So that's, because I asked her that before, I said, why do you gotta do a presentation? Why can't you just give me an estimate? She goes, because I have no idea how to give you an estimate until we come in and figure out what we gotta fix. Because it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. She goes, you're not paying by the hour. She goes, if you call us up and we gotta work for 20 hours on something, it's no more or less to you than if we had to work on it for 5 minutes, because it's one flat rate for the whole length of the contract. And she goes, like he said, if they need simple cables or a printer or stuff like that, you know, stuff that they carry in a truck, they're not gonna charge us for that either. If you bought a whole new computer because one of the computers crapped out, yes, we would be charged for that.
I'm 100% in favor of Layer I've dealt with them. I know several of the people there. It was impressive, the guy that did the presentation. He has worked for municipalities already, so that's a plus. I'm 100% for them. They're all good people, and they do a great job. So, I understand Reggie, his point of wanting to go for 6-7 months and see how it goes, but I also understand that we need to, you know, it's good to lock into that rate. That's a great rate for 3 years, and I understand that they got a big upfront cost to get this thing going, so that's all laid out in those payments over that 3 years.
Right, it's spread out over the 3 years, so correct.
If it doesn't work out, we got Mike. Mike will get us out of a deal.
Yeah, it does say that if they're in breach of it, then on their side, you're not due that 50%. That's both ways. If we got out for no reason at all, we would be subject to 50%, but it's the same way on the other side. If they're not doing theirs then that agreement goes both ways.
Which won't happen, they're as good as they come.
Yeah, that's what I get you.
So I'd like to make a motion that we,
Motion.
We already done.
Yeah, this just was a half hour
I didn't miss
ago,
that.
so we just
Oh,
need
I
a
did.
roll call.
I made the motion, Mike seconded it.
you're right.
No, actually, yep, you're right, Mike seconded, you are
Okay.
100% correct.
Mr. Hamel,
Yes.
Mr. Parati,
Yes?
Mr. Bruno.
Yes.
Mr. Facto,
No.
Mr. Randall.
Yes. Okay, that is approved. Donna, how come you got so many resolutions now? Alright, resolution 2354, motion by be it resolved that the town board of the town of Schuyler Falls approves the following Macy Lane water budget transfers. WML.0909.000 fund balance on reserve, $3,500. 2. WML.8310.400 administrative contingent
Expense?
Contractual
expenses.
expenses.
Oh, expenses.
Yeah. So it's the same amount, 3,000. We're just line item transferring it because of the engineering and stuff that we've
Yeah,
got.
move.
So that is, motion by Reggie, second,
Yes.
okay, by Vern. Any discussion?
Yep. Real quick. Real quick. My question is that,
Why did we put him on the board again?
can we take that money, that $3,500 out of our, grant money or, ARPA money that we're gonna use?
You can, but, it really doesn't make a difference because we can't use more than 30,000 for the Macy Lane Fund. And the ARPA money's still right there too, so we can take it out of either one. But it's cleaner and simpler right now to finish one up and then take the difference of what is needed out of the ARPA. That was just my thought. If you wanna keep jumping back and forth between ARPA and Macy Lane funds, then we could do that too, but yeah, I just figured it's easier that I know when I hit the cap of 30 and then I gotta start taking the rest out of the ARPA funds.
Okay, and as long as you don't go over the ARPA funds that we've allocated,
Mhm.
you could actually pay that back to their reserve fund.
You could.
You see what I'm saying? I hate to take money out of the reserve fund if we don't have to.
Well, no, they're not, it's not broke, it's not,
No,
it's
no, I
high,
know, but-
it's not as large as what the Morrisonville Fund is, but there's not as many users, and they haven't been created as long.
Right.
But, yeah, that was the whole premise of not taking any more than 30,000 when I brought it to the board and we approved that, and we asked the residents to make sure that we left enough in there. And that continually grows too each year, because we take 10%. To 15 now? 15?
Yeah, a little bit more than 10%.
Yeah, it's a little bit over 10%, so, between 10 and 15% to put into the Macy Lane water so that they have enough money on reserve to be broken. Once this is done, the whole system will be pretty much
Done.
no, so they shouldn't have any problem. Tom Taylor used to say, years.
Okay? And your roll call screwed up, so Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Hamel?
Yes.
Mr. Parati?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes. All right, 2355. Motion by be it resolved, the town board of the town of Schuyler Falls approves the following Morrisville water budget transfer. From WM.0909.000 fund balance on reserve, $2,500 to WM.8310.400 administrative contingent expenses, same amount, $2,500. to cover the cost of the expenses of the last LaBerge bill. So can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, by Sherm. And then second, you good with that?
Yeah.
Any discussion?
I assume it's the same as Macy Lane.
Yeah. This is, the last 2,500 was for the last year of grant administration that they've been working on with CDBG, USDARD, and, the FYI, which is the, congressional funding,
Got it.
alright?
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Hamel?
Yes.
Mr. Parati?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes.
Ah, well done.
So we want to start over again, we're back to the first page.
Page one.
Okay, that's it for resolutions. That just took an hour and a half. Claims, odd only, is gonna be 202300450 through 202300461. Regular claims are 202300474 through 202300543, and payroll claims 202300437 through 202300449, and also 202300462 through 202300473. Claims, general fund, $14,875.31. Highway, $21,877.13. Audit only, $3,499.10. Woods Mills Water, $2,116.90. Morrisonville Water, $12,283.45. Mason Lane Water, $4,134.34. I don't think I missed anything, so can I get a motion to pay by Sherm?
Vern.
Vern, okay. You threw your voice. Alright, I'll second it. Alright, roll call.
Discussion?
Sure.
For the two claims on my trip,
You don't want, you want to abstain from
of
those?
course I do.
You got
Down
two-
at the
you got
number
two?
503 and 505.
What was that?
How come there's two?
I don't know. I saw two.
No, you should only have the
No,
one.
it's only been one.
Okay.
Right.
You got them all.
All right.
Yeah, so one, do you know what number it
I
is?
don't know. Don't know.
You're killing me, Reggie. Nobody's gonna hit you up because.
But I
you're
can't
gonna
vote on something. that
2346.
Well, I
You
mean,
can.
you can.
You can.
Okay, I'll vote yes then.
Yeah,
Forget
you
it.
can vote yes,
I didn't
right?
think
'Cause
I
it doesn't-
could,
It's just like if you're running for election,
Thanks,
you can
Mike.
still
Yes,
vote
I
for
didn't know
yourself.
that.
Yes, you can still
Fun.
vote on it.
Okay,
If you want to be ethical for some
All right,
reason and
all
it
right,
bothers
Kevin.
you, no, but. you
change
can-
my vote to yes.
Thank you.
So we got
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Hamel,
Do that. Yes.
Mr. Parati,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno.
Yes.
Mr. Facto,
Yes.
Mr. Randall.
Yeah. Except for Reggie, so I don't want to hit. Kidding. All right. That should bring us to the public forum. We got hands. They ain't had enough yet. Okay.
Well, you answered one of them already.
Okay, sir. Yes.
I
Tell
don't know if
Mr.
it's
Dabrowski.
directed to you or him. Is there anything being done on that dump on Birchwood that's been well over a year since you've been telling me something's being done?
Yep. It is. And
Because the cats are
big-
getting bad at night. My mother-in-law is complaining about it.
I think it's the one we're looking at what branch of the bank we needed because they had a loan
Frickin'
out,
getting
and I don't
noisy.
want to give out the names or any of the specifics because it's kind of that way, but it is gonna go to court.
Oh, I heard that a year ago.
He's been there several times. And I probably shouldn't say what I know about the court because it's public knowledge, but people should probably avoid it. So, let's just say it is being worked on. It's a process. Court is always a process. Did that answer what I could have?
Not really. Because I heard the same thing a year ago. The courts were working on it.
Yeah.
And then we had a fire after
He's been
that.
there several
It
times.
got worse.
I don't control the courts, and I don't control when their lawyers put in for extensions and that kind of stuff.
It affects everyone around there.
It
Their
sure
home
does.
values, everything, because it's nothing but a big dump.
I am more than on your side, but I can only do what I can do on my end of that building. So it's something we're working through. And I apologize it takes so long, but I can't speak for the court system.
On that same note, Howard, the one up on the corner of, the Four Corners that burnt down.
Yeah, they got an
The other
extension.
day I went through there,
This month.
that stuff is getting blown around with the wind. It's all over Mickey Vans fields.
I picked up.
They got the
and
tax
dragged it
auction
most
sign
across
out
the
front.
road twice.
Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's still there or somebody already busted
No,
it down.
it's still there.
Is it? Okay.
I went by it today.
Yeah. They went to court and they had an extension, correct?
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that because I can't get into court proceedings, but yeah. I don't control the courts. Yes, Howard.
Has a decision been made, first off, let's go back to the salt shed. If you get a hold of Farm Tech, they handle a lot of buildings like that, and they will gladly figure out what size building you need to house whatever you're looking for to put in there. So, and they do it all the time, so you've got a company that is very fluid in it, helping you out with it, if you wanna get a hold of them.
So if you don't mind dropping,
I'll bring you in a book.
Are they a New York company?
No, they're not. But there's two different ones, but, they will at least give you dimensions as to what size you need. Plus, I'm sure they're gonna wanna give you a quote too. They'll give you what size you need for, if we do our cover all the site. Has a decision been made about Adobe Pro? Do we go ahead with that so we can start doing in-house, or is that something that,
that's all, I think we can do that under personal services.
okay.
As long as nobody has any issue with it, that's the Adobe Pro Acrobat,
Acrobat, Adobe,
Acrobat, if I'm saying that right?
Adobe Acrobat Pro.
Okay, thank you. So that allows us to make fillable forms. So Howard needs to update some 30 odd forms to bring them up to compliance for the code stuff alone. He did some homework like I brought to the work session, where it was $2,000 roughly if we farmed it out. Over
27 and
$2,000,
28.
yeah. If we farmed it out as a third party, I did talk to our IT service provider, and Carrie said that you're crazy not to just do it yourself like you were saying. She goes, what you're gonna pay for 1 month for that third party service, you could buy the whole program for the year. So we're looking at under $300 if
I think it was like $266 for 5 units, so we set it up on different, so if
I
one
mean, I can
computer goes
approve it as
down,
a
you still have
department
it.
head. You guys got any problem with that? If we,
Does something our new IT people need to look at first?
no,
No, sorry.
no. They can help if he has problems, but we also have somebody that kind of volunteered his time to do it, which is nice, who lives in the town, so.
But I believe Larry did allude to Adobe Pro for us too.
No, they did, yeah.
The other night.
As a matter of fact, Pat Garcel said that that's the one you should be using. And he's another one that said that he could help you if you needed to, but So we got plenty of people that are aware of how that program works and that can help. So,
The only other question I have is any decisions on cell phones yet?
well, no, because the last, when we had talked, he's kind of threw back whatever is more economical for the town. So, I have to get another couple quotes now.
Okay.
And we had the quotes all set up through Verizon. We were looking at, we're in a bundle to start with. But we're trying to keep everything Verizon and move First Light, which is our regular phone service, and move that over to Verizon and do the whole caboodle. So that's why originally when we had all talked, that we were bundling all that and getting rid of, if we can, First Light. So that's why I looked into Verizon, but then the last work session, you guys wanted to know if we could get cell phones cheaper anywhere else, so I'll check with a couple of vendors.
Well, and I think we changed the number of phones that we need in town.
Well, I already did that, I had moved it down to 5 when I brought it back to that work session. You weren't here
I was
because you
gonna say, I
were,
don't remember that.
you were in another state,
I was vacationing.
so, but everybody else was here, so that's,
So it's not my fault.
it's, this time is not your fault, sir.
Glad to hear that.
I'll say that on record.
But we should do something with our telephones, right, Barb? Our office phones.
We should do something with a number of things, yeah.
Well, especially with the
Um,
office phones, they still ring up to the highway garage.
So-
I got you when I was away.
Now that we
Yeah.
have hired
Yeah,
Layer
that's-
8,
And then I
and I
got
can
you.
sign that contract, Layer 8 can get involved, and they have multiple vendors that they can look up cell phone
There you go.
things, packages for us. So it'll take a little heat off of me,
There you go.
and that's the first thing I'm gonna tell them.
That's perfect. I make a motion, we adjourn.
Oh, wait a minute.
You're done.
Gotta get
Can
the
we
meetings-
meet
Are you done?
I'm done.
meetings.
Thank you.
Then who made the
Meeting
motion?
dates.
So is there, huh?
Oh, the
Meeting
meeting date.
dates.
Oh, yes. Meeting dates. Next meeting, regular meeting will be 5/23/23, Tuesday, 6 p.m. Work sessions will be on 5/1 and 5/15 of 23 if needed at 6 p.m. Now can we get a motion?
Sherm did.
I'll move.
Sherm,
Second.
Vern,
All in favor?
absolutely.
You guys all in favor?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.